Hey guys, welcome back. This is DK here, and I know it's been a long while, but I'm here back with a new segment called DK Lessons. And these DK Lessons is basically targeted to lower level players, ranging from bronze to maybe low or mid diamond. Uh, Basically, in these DK lessons, I'll be showing you just the fundamentals and the basics on that will just allow you to play more smoother and faster and just better. Now to start off in every game, you always want to hotkey your nexus, right? And I hotkey my nexus at 3, but for you guys out there that have a different hotkey that you're more comfortable with, that's fine too. So whatever hotkey that you feel more comfortable with, just just hotkey them. Just remember to hotkey them. And basically, you just select your nexus, press CTRL 3 or whatever number you please, and then now you see I have two different probes that are hotkeyed into two different number set. One probe is set into the hotkey number 1, and another one is hotkey number 2. Now, usually I use my first hotkey probe at 1 to make the nexus, to make the gateway, and I'm going to use it to scout it, right? Never forget to not make those probes. You gotta make it continuously. Now for the gateway, it depends on your preference, because after the warp gate is done, you don't really need to hotkey your gateways, but in the early games, I usually hotkey my gateways in order to make units constantly or whenever I need to. So I just CTRL 4 for my gateway for now, and then of course I'm gonna scout. Now in this game, of course, we don't have any computers, so just pretend that we're scouting. Now for the reason why I have two probes selected, right, hotkey that 1 and 2, is because this allows you to micro your probe and macro as well. So if you need to, you have to go 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 2, right? So 1 1 you scout around and then leave it 2 2 or 3 3, whichever is fine. And then you're gonna use this probe to make buildings. So you see how my gateway is finished. You can use this probe to make a cybernetic core, shift back into the mineral line, and then press 1 1 again, and you can micro your probe once again and keep scouting, right? So this allows you to micro and macro at a more faster rate and more efficiently. Now, of course, you could go just to go back to your nexus. You go press 3 3, and then of course actually let's get our production buildings going up, and let's get our gateway count going up as well. So this is not in any particular build order, of course you guys know. This is just to show you the basics. Now I'm gonna make a Zella here. I'm gonna boost that out, get some warp gate technology going, although I don't have any gas at the moment. So as we wait for the gas to come, so as you're looking at your probe, your scouting probe, you want to constantly check your minerals and your supply count, so you don't get supply blocked and you're not building up too many resources, right? So it should be like a routine kind of thing. So you go 1 1, scout around, 2 2. Do I need to build any buildings? No. Then tab on 3. See if you're constantly making those probes. Chrono boost if you need to, right? And then of course go on for you could double click on your gateways and then shift 4, which would just add them to your hotkey number 4, and then you can press SSS or wherever, or maybe whichever hotkey you need to make for your units. And then you want to keep this routine going, right? 1 1 again, 3, probe, and then 2 2. See if you need to build any more buildings. Look at your resources and supply. I'm getting a little supply block, so I'm gonna make more pylons. And you just want to keep this up, right? Because notice in the early game is the usually the game, the really early game at least, you don't have any pressure going on. So you see, as soon as these units come out, now you have different ways of hockeying your units. You always want to hockey some kind of unit. And as soon as these gateway units come out, this scouting probe is not as important as my army, right? So I'm gonna actually press tab on 1, right? And then I'm gonna CTRL 2. So I'm gonna replace this probe at the second hotkey. So this right now at the moment is the hotkey for my 1 and 2. So if I press 1, I have this probe, and then this number 2 is the same probe. I'm gonna actually hotkey my units by boxing my army, and then CTRL 1. And then this basically has all my units hotkey. Now, later in the game, when you're having more units, which I'm going to warp in just right about now, I'm going to make some extra units as well, and buildings. So basically, when you have basically a variety of units, so maybe let's add in another 2 Zealot and 2 Sentry, right? Now, in some cases, it's pretty easy just to hotkey them at 1, right? There's no problem with that. Some people I know, because of the stalker mobility, they hotkey that at a different hotkey so that they can scout around, roam around the map, and micro them. Or when you're expanding, right? And you have these Zealot and Sentries at your base to protect any lings, or for any Marine Marauder or something like that. You know, any units. Maybe like a Reaper. You scouted a Reaper coming, so you might want to have to split up your Stalker. So sometimes you have the Stalker at maybe, let's say, 2. So CTRL 2 or Shift 2. And then you have this at 1. So you basically have 1 as your non-mobile units, and then 2 as just your stalkers, right? So you can this is how you can micro back and forth against like things like Terran drops, or basically some warp prism warping into your base. You gotta defend that, you know. So, or Banshees even, because Banshees, this unit ain't gonna do much against Banshees, right? Usually it's the stalkers that you use to deal with the Banshee. So you're gonna, so this splitting of the hotkey can be quite useful for some of you. This just allows you to micro both ends of the area or the battle much easier. Now, once our Robo is done, or once our Stargate is done, usually I would replace that as my hotkey number 4. Again, these hotkeys could be at any number, whichever that you feel more comfortable with. So let's imagine we had a Robo instead. We made Robo. So I'm gonna hotkey that at 4 because I want to have that. Same with the Nexus. That I guess macro focus on it. So you could press 3E for probe, and then you can quickly tab on 4, see if something's already done, so you can keep making units from it continuously. You don't want to like leave it unused for a long period of time, right? And it's the same with the stalkers. I mean, not the stalkers, the Stargate. If you're making a Stargate instead of a Robo, you can hotkey at 4, and then sometimes in the really late game when you have both buildings, you could either hotkey one of them at 4 and hotkey them one at 5 or something like that, or you could have it both hotkeyed at 4. So you could CTRL 4 for this Robo, and then you can click on the Stargate and then hold down Shift and then 4, and this will add you to your hotkey. And all you can do is just tab through, so that you can see that you can keep making units from it. And then as we get into the more higher tier units and more upgrades, so let's get our Twilight Cancel. Now let's as we're waiting for this Twilight Cancel and stuff, let's concentrate on how to, because we did see how we can add hotkeys by either overriding the hotkey by pressing CTRL and then the number, or we can add the units to the hotkey by just selecting them and then shift adding them, right? Let's make a Nexus as well. So how do you deselect units? Now, if you just want to use your zealots, so basically you have one, right? And then all you have to do is either double click on them without pressing one. You could just like double click them, whatever, or you can press one and then hold down CTRL and then just click on one of them, and this will just select all your zealots. Now again, I know some of these might be repetitive and you probably know some of these already, but some of you guys might not know, so hopefully this will help some of you. But I'll be teaching stuff that that will be useful even if the other stuff are again more repetitive and you already know it. So basically CTRL, and you click on the zealot, and then you can micro your zealot. You can rewrite only the zealot into hotkey number 1, and then select your sentries and rewrite it to number 2, things like that. Now sometimes you want to like send your units to watchtower, right? So you have all these at hotkey number 1, so all you could what you could do is basically just select press 1 and then hold down shift and then click on the unit, or you can click it down here. Either one is fine. And then basically have it, so basically it goes like this. You select you tab on 1, which selects it, and then you could attack to the watchtower, right? And then as it's going, you can hold down shift, click on the zealot, rewrite it CTRL1, and then just move back, and only this zealot will go to the watchtower. So you could of course just like send your zealot by just clicking it and then to the watchtower and then boxing it and then rewriting it, but either way is fine. Okay, so basically we have our Twilight Council. Now we have Blink. Let's research Blink and then maybe get some Templar Archive and some DT Shrine. Maybe make some simulators as well. Okay, so basically, you get the idea of adding, rewriting, and deselecting units from the hotkey section of this guide. So basically, you should be setting your hotkey, because the hotkey is very, very, very important in managing your units and as well as your buildings, right? And that will help you like macro better, and that will help you micro better. Now let's say that you have an expansion going up. Now all of this that I'm teaching you about hotkeying and controlling and all these different shortcut things are basically what we term as mechanics, and you probably heard of it before, and these mechanics not just only allow you to control your units better, but allows you to do things like transfer your workers much easier. So sometimes when you're some of you expand it, right? You just select your some probes, and then you transfer them, and then as you're waiting for that, you could you gotta wait for it to go to the mineral line, and then until then you gotta either select these 3 probes or 4 probes, whatever, and then once it's mining, you could select 3 probes and turn it into gas. Now instead of that, right, all these waiting and stuff, instead of that, there's a much easier way to transfer your probes using mechanics and mechanics alone. So basically, instead of doing that, you can just select your units, right? And using what I just taught you about deselecting and all that, you can actually use your probe and rally them to your gas, and then hold down shift and then click 3 of them, then click on the other one, right click them, and then hold down shift again, click on 3 of them, and then right click on the mineral line, and that'll send the rest of your other probes to the mineral line. So that way you can actually transfer your workers, and you'll know that 3 of them are going to your gas instead of just waiting for it to go to your mineral line, and then, or while it's going to your mineral line, transferring your probes to the gas. So this is just a much easier way to transfer units and your workers using just mechanics. Now I think this should be the last important thing that you should know about hotkeying and stuff. Now, there's so many units in the game for especially for Protoss.